win this thing. Hmm? Oops.
We come now to what is going to be the final championship race here on ESPN for 2020. It is the iRacing East Superspeedway Series here from the Daytona International Speedway, a 100-lap season finale. We thank you so much for making us a part of your evening. My name is Frank Marchese, Tony Trapasso in the booth alongside of me here tonight. And Tony, a big night upcoming here. 3 drivers with a chance at winning the championship. Another 3 with an outside chance of winning the title. But right now the focus is on the 24 now, the 48 and the 31.
Yeah, I mean, mathematically, you've got 6 drivers that could still pull this off. And you've got another 4 drivers that, while they need a miracle, they're still not completely eliminated yet.
And we only have a minute and a half left in this practice session. As I said, this is going to be the last championship race we're going to have this season. We've already determined the Western States Truck Series champion, the Tuesday night champion, Brian Barnes, winning his 3rd consecutive. That season will start up again on January 5th, and we will be bringing you that season as well officially now. There's a block up.
Yeah, see you, bye.
Yeah, sorry, that caught my attention rather quickly. We had the
Ryan Worley, how to turn a cup car into a pavement modified.
Yeah,
One simple step.
They're still hanging out there. We crowned an MPI Cup Series champion last week with Ray Rogers in that incredible last couple lap duel with Ryan Thomas, and now it's the IES Superspeedway Championship's turn to see who is going to take home their crown.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, taking a quick look at the point standings, you got Brody Smith leading the pile right now. 3 points behind him is Connor Trafari. Another 1 point back from Connor is Marcus Adams. Then you're 9 points back to Mark Mann, 3 more points back to Cody Smith, and another 1 point back to Zishan Dura. So there's only 17 points to separate your top 6. Then you've got Greg Marconi, who's another 5 points back. And then you got Zach Borman and Brandon Wilson, who are tied at minus 24 behind Brody Smith. And, Jason Papp still mathematically could pull this off he's got to win and hope that the 8 guys in front or 9 guys in front of him crash out early. Yeah, but he could still pull this off.
And that's the help that these guys are really going to need. These guys further towards the back end of the top 10 really need one of the championship drivers to have a really bad day. Speaking of which, here is one of them. It is the 48 of Connor Trafari. He will be the first driver out on track. Here's another one. Brody Smith coming out on circuit as 2
Dura's out as well.
Yep, Dwera's out. Cody Smith is out. But 2 of the guys that we are expecting to really have a big run at this championship are the first 2 drivers out.
And, with them only getting 1 lap of qualifying, you kind of want to get out there before the heat gets into the track from the rest of the cars. It's a relatively cool night. There's going to be as much grip in this track as can be had from this track. It's 65-degree ambient air temperature and 67-degree track temperature. Relatively cool for Daytona Beach. And they're only having to deal with a 2-mile-an-hour wind coming out of turn 2. So, it's not that bad here tonight. The weather's not going to play a huge factor. So, the only thing they've got to be kind of mindful of is they've only got a 75% fuel fill in the tanks.
And this being the longest race of the season at 100 laps, half a full distance, Connor Trafari puts in the first lap time in qualifying. Here comes Brody Smith, the other one of the championship, one of 3 championship hopefuls as well, coming off the line in that McDonald's number 24 Chevrolet. Set the fastest overall time. Brody Smith going to the top.
A provisional all-Smith front row with Cody and Brody both, getting up there on the front so far. Still quite a few cars that have to lay down, a flyer, and they're going to need to hurry to get that lap in because it's only 5 minutes for the qualifying session.
Yep, and out now, what you're seeing on screen right now is the third of the 3 major championship hopefuls tonight is Marcus Adams in the number 31. Adams was running around in the back a lot last week at Talladega. Once he started to work his way up towards the front, he got caught up in a big wreck, put himself back. I believe he was 11 points to the good going into last week's race. He now finds himself the last of the top 3 as he's about to finish his lap now.
Yeah, that was a rough one to watch. He actually, he lost 2 spots in the order. The big, I dare say, loser in this whole situation though was Michael Anthony, who dropped 3 spots last week because he just kept getting caught up in other people's mistakes.
Yep, certainly was. And we'll try to get Anthony once he comes on track. Chris Worrell finishing his lap, starting in the 8th position. I believe the next one to be finishing his lap is the 41 of Roberto Ramirez. Now Ramirez, I think we saw last time he was here at Daytona, had a very solid run. Made a lot of aggressive moves, but he made them cleanly. He made them safely. Wasn't involved in any wrecks. Ended up bringing a good, solid finish home last time we saw him.
Right, but the only thing to be concerned with is he hasn't run regularly. He's not racing for a championship, and nobody wants to be, and I'm using air quotes when I say this, that guy. And if you've been around racing long enough, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And that's the guy that, cherry picks their races, doesn't, race every week, and it ends up drastically affecting the outcome of a championship because, they're trying to play spoiler and win the damn race. And next thing you know, they've wadded half the field.
We've only got 15 seconds to go in this qualifying session. Scott Warren crosses the line in 15th. Jason Papp also coming across the line. He will put it 20th. So as qualifying comes to an end, it will be
Nick Kessler.
Yep, Nick Kessler was just able to nip Brody Smith at the line, and Kessler has been so good in qualifying here recently. I think he's won. He had to have won at least 3 of the last 4 poles, if I remember right.
Something like that, but 7 1/1000ths of a second, the difference between Kessler and Smith.
And we've seen that happen so many times here at Daytona and Talladega. We'll go to the grid here for the championship race at Daytona for the iRacing East Superspeedway Series. It will be Nick Kessler on pole from Brody Smith on row 1, Dan Harrington and Cody Smith row 2. So the brothers Smith, the first 2 cars on the outside line. Mark Mann and Hunter Reynolds will make up row 3. Roberto Ramirez and Marcus Adams row 4. The slowest of the top 3, Connor Trafari, will line up next to Chris Worrell in row number 5. Row 6 will be Kyle Smalley and Daniel Holloway. Row 6 will go to Aaron Tribble. I'm sorry, row 7 will go to Aaron Tribble and Shane Posey. Scott Warren and Zach Bowerman make up row 8.
James Lowe and Zishan Dura make up row 9. Rick Seabrands and Jason Papp roll off in row 10. Papp, the last one to actually lay down a qualifying lap. Then that brings us to Daniel Falkingham and Michael Anthony in row 11. Row 12 brings us to Logan Jones and Joe Francis. James Cato and Brandon Wilson going to roll off in row 13, with row 14 going to GT Park and Greg Marconi. Jesse Cottrell and Mark McFadden going to start in row 15. Row 16 sees Nick Wing and Ryan Worley, Jason Kinzer, and Jimmy Reynolds in row 14 or I'm sorry, row 17, and row 18 brings us John LeBombard and Calvin Allison. So 36 cars scheduled to roll off here tonight, Frank. That's a pretty decent sized field.
And it's very, very nice to see for the last race of the season. And what a job that these guys have done all season long. It's so exciting. I think the third race of the season was when I jumped on board with Sam. Sam did the first two races, I think, by himself. And then I jumped on board. But the man that you see on screen right now, Jason Papp, has done such a fantastic job of putting a great group of drivers together. And come the end of the night, we'll be talking to Jason Papp to kind of put a bow on this Superspeedway season. Only get a month off before we go at it again. The next season slated to start on January 15th. But the big excitement is going to be coming at the beginning of February when we see what these guys can do on tracks that aren't necessarily Daytona and Talladega.
Absolutely. But, getting back to what you were talking about, Jason Papp has set the bar so unbelievably high for every other league that decides they want to run a Speedway series. With the group that he's assembled here in the iRacing East, we kind of get spoiled.
Yes.
With this group.
Yeah, these guys have put on nothing but sensational shows all season long, and it's because of that man right there in the number one, Jason Papp. But to the front of the field, we go to the man who will be starting this race off. It will be Nick Kessler and Brody Smith on the front row. 24, 31, and 48. I said 31, right? I said 31.
You said 31.
And 48 are the three numbers you're going to be watching tonight. Pace car ducks off. Kessler brings them down. We are racing at the season finale for the iRacing East Superspeedway Series.
And Connor Trafari announcing to the field that he will be dropping down onto the apron to move to the back of the field as soon as he possibly can safely, because he wants to see what's coming at him rather than get run over from behind when the inevitable does happen. It's plate racing. It's pack racing, as the 24 Brody Smith, by about a car length, getting a great push from Cody Smith. Brody and Cody working together real well right now.
Oh, there's a wreck in the front already. The 28. We'll get to it here in a second. Once this stops freaking out, caution comes out. There's Michael Anthony in the 8, and boy, that great decision already made by Connor Trafari, as he would have been right on the inside of that once that happened. And that starts with a driver that has the 28 on the car. It's not the driver with the 28 on the car, not Calvin Allison.
The 31.
31.
Marcus Adams.
Yep, there's Marcus Adams in pit road. If we can get a little bit better shot at him, and he's wadded up, and that right there could have just made this a two-horse race for the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was ugly with a capital Ugh.
Let's see what happened here. There's the caution coming out. I think it might have been Rick Seabrand's or somebody in that area's.
Would have been whoever started 6.
Might have been the 26. That's the number. I think it was Hunter Reynolds.
That's exactly who it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. We'll try to get back to this a little bit further here.
As Cody Smith kind of jumped out of line to not push his brother through the corner, the 26 moved down as the 82 kind of wasn't down as far as he could have been. And as the 26 moved down, the 26 moves down, the 82's there and just hooks him.
So already.
And the 17 gets punted.
So already major issues for championship contending drivers right now. Brody Smith, it always helps to be in front of it, and that's where Brody Smith was. So the points leader coming into tonight has the race lead, and Connor Trafari, currently sitting in pit road, has no damage on that 48. And again, he got incredibly lucky dropping to the back because that accident happened right where he would have been.
Yeah, but take a look at what happens between Dan Holloway and the 21 as he tries to avoid the melee in front of him. Just goes down track and just hooks the 17 of Scott Warren.
We'll try to get back far enough to see what happened there. As yep, there you see the wreck already happening, and yep, there goes the 21 down, and Warren hard into the outside wall. Just able to keep it straight. Just a lot of, honestly, it wasn't necessarily a big wreck. It was just a lot of cars broadsiding the wall and keeping going. No clog up on track or anything like that. Which I'm sure for a lot of guys, especially in the back, that's a huge break.
Yeah, absolutely. Is just not the greatest thing on the planet.
And unfortunately for Marcus Adams, he is still sitting in pit road. He is now several laps down, so this will effectively put an end to his championship aspirations, and honestly, that comes with plate racing. You know, these guys you either have luck or you have none, and Adams has had a lot of luck over the course of his season, and unfortunately, these last couple of races especially, just luck has not been on his side.
Yeah, absolutely, and you kind of hate to see it, but if you're in the live chats, let us know who you're rooting for tonight. While you're there, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, turn on bell notifications if you haven't already done so. And just remember, folks, we're only 170 subscribers away from a whole group of us having to get the ESPN logo tattooed somewhere on our person.
Oh wow, yeah, I'm just looking at that sub number.
And if you're in the live chats right now, tonight's hashtag is #TrampStamp. Because that's what we're trying to talk Sam Cooper Bennett into getting.
Well, he's retired now, so he can't defend himself.
Exactly. So he #TrampStamp if you want to see Sam Cooper Bennett get the ESPN logo tattooed on his lower back.
And that's amazing because the last time I remember when I first got here, we were celebrating 1,000 subs, and now just a couple months later, we're already up to 1,300. That's absolutely incredible growth. As the leader makes his way down, Brody and Cody once again, this time on the inside lane, will get the jump, and we're back racing at Daytona.
Absolutely. Is Brody showing the way? Cody was right on his back bumper and thought better of trying to push his brother through the trial, although wanted to make sure he doesn't be that guy. Now, here's the thing, though, is, well, yes, Brody is leading the points. Mathematically, Cody could still pull this off. Because I'm looking at the point standings, and it's 43 points for a win before bonus points.
It's only 16 points off as Cody Smith, so that's the question. Do you go for the long shot, or do you help your brother win it?
Well, it all depends on how much you want to be cordial to your family during the Christmas break.
Well, if we know anything about brothers in racing, it's not always cordial. See Kurt and Kyle.
Yeah, but Brody and Cody seem to get along a whole lot better than Kurt and Kyle do because, let's face it, they can both be the southbound end of a northbound horse when they want to be.
Yep.
But, the Smith brothers seem to get along a whole lot better. And I think Mama Smith has a lot to do with that, keeping her boys in check.
Certainly does. And let's not forget, while there is a championship on the line, as we see just continuous, we're glossing over it because we've seen it so many times this year. Close competitive pack racing between these guys. It's almost as to be expected at this point. But let's not forget that with the championship, it's not just the championship. There's money on the line here. Points winner not only gets the championship, but gets $100, $25 for whoever finishes second place in the standings, and $10 to whoever finishes third, not to mention an extra $5 for winning the race. So there is more to play for than just a championship here tonight. There is a little bit of cash on the line.
There is, and usually when you dangle that kind of carrot in front of drivers, the aggression really starts to come out. So you got to kind of wonder if Cody and Brody Smith right now are actually, as we're 3 wide for 5th. Yep. You kind of got to wonder if the Smith brothers are actually, in each other's ears right now, going, okay, I just got to, duck out and get some cool air to my radiator. I'm not trying to pass you, just, hang tight. So-and-so is moving so-and-so, and this is what's going on here. And as Kyle Smalley looks to change lanes and leaves Jason Papp hanging out to dry in that upper lane, we're already 8 laps into the books. And, again, these guys have a 75% fuel fill, so rough math, you're looking somewhere around lap 17 to 20 with the caution. We've already seen some guys come down pit road, so if it stays green, the guys that pitted just before we went back to green should be able to stretch it out to about lap 25, maybe 30 if they conserve. But, look to see these guys that haven't been down pit road yet, coming in somewhere around 17 to 20.
Kyle Smalley was one of those guys that came into him in the 46. Now, he knows something about winning a championship. He won the Monday night championship that goes along with the Real Cup Series schedule. He had won that earlier this year. So the 46 of Kyle Smalley now puts himself into the lead. A close slide down to the inside in front of Brody Smith. And Brody right now knows all he needs to do is finish where he is. With the 48 of Trifari stuck mired back in the pack a little bit, he's in perfect firing position to win this championship. And Trifari, there you see him running in the 19th position in that second pack.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a deal where you've got to win the race. You've got to keep it clean. You've got to be around to the finish. And I'm actually kind of liking where Trifari is running right now. He's not dawdling at the very tail end of the field. He's in that second grouping that we see on camera. You got a little bit of a separation between the top, 12?
Yeah, so get close to that.
13. And then you've got that second group, and Connor's, right in the middle of that group, kind of just riding right now. Trying to keep the car out of trouble, not, doing anything crazy. And, he's doing what he's got to do. And Jason Papp is doing what he needs to do right now. As far as being up towards the front. The other thing is, he's got 2 guys in front of him, and whoa!
Might have been a lag smoke there because I saw that as well.
No, that was the 46 moving up the track to try to block the Smith brothers.
Oh, I thought you were looking backwards. My apologies as the 2 Smiths go up to the front. We'll get a look at that here.
I think I need to change my fire suit.
We'll get a look at that since I missed it as well. And so I think the camera's going to miss it as well. And you can see wow, he's really moved up that track to try to keep them at bay. Unfortunately, those 2 have done such a great job with the drafting this season, not just with each other, but they have been, and we've said it from the beginning of the season, these guys have been such good pushers, the brothers Smith. And right now, Brody needs a win more than anything else, or needs a good finish more than anything else. And having somebody he can trust behind him, like the 7, I'm sure is doing nothing but confidence for his nothing but positivity for his confidence. That's what I meant to say.
Well, right now, Brody Smith is giving Kyle Smalley an earful as not happy with that move. And pretty much everybody is agreeing that, that was kind of uncalled for this early.
We'll try to take a look at that later on. But as right now, Zach Bowerman getting pushed by Michael Anthony in the 8. Anthony does have one win this season, if I remember correctly. On that outside lane with the 9 of Bowerman pushing 9 of Bowerman. Now Bowerman does have one win, I know that for a fact. Also teammates with the 2. Also teammates with the 7 on that inside line. As again, we mentioned him during qualifying, Roberto Ramirez in the 41. That Ally Jimmy Johnson machine. Sitting up there in 7th place as they get past one of the 2 Reynolds brothers. That's Hunter Reynolds. As working lap 15 of 100 here at Daytona, the championship finale. And Brody Smith showing the way.
And they are 3 wide right around the 10th spot. That's Allison Tribble and it looks like Kinzer on the high side. And now they're moving up to where Jason Papp is. So they're already 3 wide right there in the mid-pack. That's Allison, Papp, and Kessler.
Kessler just jumping into the middle, as Roberto Ramirez just does get clear as Allison in that white number 28 on the outside line starting to fall back now as Aaron Tribble in that newly minted 22. That was the car that Brody Smith gave up a little bit earlier on in the season, won the final race of the regular season. And boy, look at that 8 car of Michael Anthony gets squirrely going into turn 3. And remember, these guys talked a lot about last week how this new tire model really wears that right rear of the car out and starts to slide that car around. Could that be something we're seeing here already coming starting lap 17?
Well, it's a combination of the new aero model and the new tire model. But yeah, that's exactly what we just saw with the 8, going for a slide for life coming through turn 3. That's definitely a pucker moment for everybody around him that saw it. And the way these guys are running, up towards the front, they're getting a little bit aggressive. So, that outside lane pinching down like they're trying to get that side draft off the inside lane, that's dangerous with this new model.
It certainly is. But if there's a group of guys we trust with this, it would be these guys. As that's Joe Francis leading the outside lane, 46, and Kyle Smalley behind him. Zach Bowerman out there as well. Aaron Tribble, Nick Kessler on the outside line. Meanwhile, it's the brothers Smith, Brody, and Cody on the inside line in that order. Jason Papp, Chris Worrell, and Roberto Ramirez, the first 5 cars on that inside line. And another guy who has not had a lot of good luck here in the playoffs was the other driver that had won 2 races on the season. There were only 2 drivers that won multiple races on the year. It would have been the 31 of Marcus Adams and the 6 of Chris Worrell. Worrell had his bad luck at the beginning, the first 2 races in the playoffs, and really has not been able to recover.
Yeah, no, he definitely hasn't. And you really got to feel for him. I mean, coming into the playoffs with 2 races worth of bonus points, just the luck has not been on his side all playoff long. But hats off to him for qualifying for the playoffs to begin with, which is difficult enough, and then being able to win 2 races coming into the playoffs, that's huge. So I mean, he knows how to get it done. He just needs to start killing bunnies and grabbing their feet.
As Worrell actually came into the playoffs as the regular season champion. So Worrell certainly has had a run of good luck. Unfortunately, in the playoffs, he seems to run away. By the way, the retirements, Nicholas Wing did not start this race. So he will be classified in 36th and final position. Marcus Adams, one of the championship hopefuls, has retired from the wreck on lap 1. Scott Warren done as well. Jason Kinzer, John LeBombard, and Jimmy Reynolds. I believe Mark McFadden has called it a night as well. So those are your retirements from the wreck on lap 1.
They're just waiting to get their cars fixed. Warren is actually the only one that has actually green and retired. He had his throughput.
And I figure with the damage, he said, you know what, just forget it.
No, he's trying to get that car fixed to salvage as many points as he can. It's just he needs to log back into the server. The rest of them are still somewhere on pit road, not necessarily in their cars, while they wait for the timer to tick down.
Oh, yep. I'm just seeing now Marcus Adams pop back into pit lane. So the driver of the 31 is going to look to try to gain as many positions as he can. He's only one lap behind Scott Warren and Jason Kinzer, who, as that's the 80 there getting lapped of Shane Posey. So Adams will get a couple of positions right off the bat. But this race for the lead here is really, it's maintained here during that entire incorrectness that I just went through right there. As Brody Cody still pushing on that inside. Joe Francis on the outside getting pushed by Kyle Smalley. Nothing really changing much here as green flag pit stops cycle closer.
Absolutely, as we've got now 22 laps in the books. Now, the caution did help with the fuel mileage a little bit, so we're probably looking somewhere around lap 25-ish. They still haven't all gotten single file yet, so green flag pit stop still at least a couple laps away, as they're 3 wide again for 10th.
They are. That's Michael Anthony
sitting
in the middle of it. Oh, boy, there goes Michael Anthony again. They're still spinning off. That's low. In the 99, the 23 of Logan Jones going for a slide as well. Watch out, Rick Seabrands. And Cody Smith gets bumped out of second position. What happened with him?
He got hip checked by Joe Francis.
Oh, and there goes the 23 of Logan Jones. Again, hits that inside wall hard. That might be the caution. Nope, he keeps it going far enough off the track. We stay green. As there you see the race lead popping in. Chris Worrell somehow found his way up to the race lead through that.
So where that kind of started, the 46 tried to push the 50. The 50 got about 12 different times sideways, came down and just completely hip checked the 7. And Smith went screaming through the grass. Michael Anthony went screaming through the grass, but was able to kind of save it. And then just all hell broke loose, and we're still under green.
Yeah, that was not part of that's not far back enough for us to see what actually happened on that incident. We'll try to get it now. Here, hopefully, is Brody Smith. Now Chris Worrell will drop down in front of the field to take over the race lead, as we will try to see from high above what happened on that incident. As you can see, just a bunch of moving around, moving and shaking. I must have sent it a little too far back this time. My apologies. Working their way onto the front straightaway here. We'll just stick with the replay here, as we are going to be getting closer to green flag pit stops here. And if those start, we will break away from those. We will break away from this replay. But you can see a ton of moving and shaking going around. Michael Anthony starting to move up onto that outside line, and here they come down the back straightaway. You see Kessler gets knocked out of line. Oh, the 46 got a big bump The 46 gave a big bump. There goes the 23 and the 99. The 7 takes a big body check as well. As that was a lot to go on there in a very short amount of time. But we've been seeing a lot of aggression out of Kyle Smalley here tonight. And that right there breaks up the 24 and the 7, which might be a championship move for Connor Trafari.
Maybe. As, these guys are just... We're only working lap 27, and these guys are getting very chippy, especially at the front of the field. Kyle Smalley is not making any friends out there tonight. That's for dang sure.
No, and again, Kyle Smalley now is racing solely for wins. He's admitted that he has not taken the Superspeedway series as seriously as some of these other guys, with him running for the Monday Night Championship, which he won. Now is the two balls out drivers. Currently leading the race, Michael Anthony as well. His issues have not deterred him tonight, and he's had a couple of moments here in the first 29 laps of this race that really might have spooked anyone else, as Brody Smith heads off into pit lane.
And looks like the 80 going with him.
Shane Posey.
And Posey's a couple laps down. But Smith is at least going to have one dancing partner, which is a good thing. And looks like Cody Smith is on pit road. So a lot of damage on the 7 right now. Yeah,
we saw in that replay, Cody Smith took a couple of big shots. He got the one from the 50 of Joe Francis, and then...
Aha, here we go. He was waiting for his brother.
Oh, there you go.
He's rolling now. Posey's rolling now. So, Brody's going to have some dancing partners here.
Kessler leads a group with him. I believe Aaron Tribble was a part of that group. So now with Cody Smith, we had said he had an outside chance at taking the championship here tonight. He has fully now put his focus on helping his brother win the title, as the 46, the 6, and the 1 lead the way. Both Smalley and Worrell came into pit under that caution on lap 1. Roberto Ramirez, Michael Anthony, Zach Bowerman, and a lot of these guys came in as well. As now here come the leaders down into pit road. And Worrell with a big lockup, but he's able to get it down to speed. As we are 30 laps in the books here. Green flag stops starting to cycle out. As we'll try now to get a grip on where Brody Smith is currently running. There he is down the back straightaway. He's got Sam Posey in front of him. His brother behind him, Joe Francis, coming out of pit road. And they are going to get around him.
But the good news for Francis is he's going to be able to lock in with these guys, or a reasonable facsimile thereof.
He's got the 23 of Logan behind him. More cars coming into pit at the top of the screen there. As now here comes the back end of that group that came in last time. We're following Brody Smith. There's Nick Kessler and the 22 of Aaron Tribble. So those guys have effective race lead right now. If they were to get around the 46 of the 6, there's the 91 of Kinzer. Kinzer, I believe, is several laps down at this point. As Brody Smith going to the outside, passes Posey, and they're going to be at the back end of this group, as the group of Worrell, Smalley, Ramirez, and Cato in the 3 all come out ahead of them.
I saw Jason Papp in that group too.
Yep, Jason Papp's leading the way in that group. As working lap 32 of this championship race. More cars coming out of pit road, led by Calvin Allison in the 28. Zach Bowerman in that group. There's Connor Trafari in that group as well. He's about to get passed up by the 1 of Jason Papp and the rest of the group that are coming that have been out for the last couple of laps.
And Michael Anthony has just put it on the hauler.
Boy, and for all of the troubles he's had tonight to now put it on the hauler, that's quite an accomplishment that he made it this far, to be honest. He's been a part of 3 major scuffs here tonight.
Yeah.
As Connor Trafari now finds himself right in the middle of the lead pack, and as it sits, currently the championship leader is Brody Smith, currently sitting in the 12th position. Trafari in 5th right now. So right now, Connor Trafari has James Cato in the 3 behind him. He is your current points leader if things were to end right now.
Absolutely. These guys are trying to get it sorted out, just kind of riding right now. Calvin Allison, great run going for him. Somebody's having connection issues.
Yeah, there is somebody in that group that's...
A 3 of James Cato.
Yep, and Cato's now dropping to the back. The 39 of Daniel Falkingham, he is not for position there. As there you see Marcus Adams up at the top of your screen, just now really just trying to maintain or trying to gain as many positions as he possibly can, as now it's Greg McConey and Jason Papp fighting for the race lead. Both of those guys come into tonight with an outside chance of winning the championship. I mean, an outside chance. Both of them are 25 plus points behind Brody Smith, who currently sits in the 9th position. But those two guys, of course, you want to get a win here to end this season. And Papp and McConey both finding themselves leading their own lines.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and it looks like we might possibly have an issue with the ticker.
Well, ticker's running fine. From what I can see, ticker's running fine. We did have issues with the ticker. What was it, 2 nights ago for the Sim Racers Edge race at Homestead?
Yeah, no, it's looking fine. It was just Ernie Ludwig was asking a question, and
oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he's
yeah,
wondering why the 71 was being shown as out. And
yeah, I'm seeing that.
He's not. So
yeah, Scott Warren, not Scott Warren. Marcus Adams is showing the same. It has something to do with the way SDK registers these cars in race. I'm not sure why, unfortunately, and it's not necessarily something that we can fix.
Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Brody Smith was making a move up through the middle as he got by Nick Kessler to get right behind the 1 of Jason Papp. Now, we've seen those two work well together in the past, so, it's going to be interesting to see what takes place. Wow!
Yeah, Kyle Smalley moving up again in that 46. He's been incredibly aggressive tonight. As Papp sitting behind him now. Brody Smith has gotten back around Connor Trafari. Brody Smith in the 5th position. Trafari has fallen back to 11th at the back end of this lead group here. So Trafari playing the long game, and Brody Smith trying to play the out front so you avoid every wreck game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Kyle Smalley definitely not making any friends here tonight, as
it's close. he's made a lot of aggressive moves here tonight.
Well, he almost put Jason Papp into the wall.
Yeah, he really did. As Roberto Ramirez now takes the lead of that outside lane, trying to get around Greg McConey. That moves Zach Bowerman up to the 2nd position on the inside lane. Nick Kessler down there as well. Aaron Tribble in the Pennzoil number 22 there as well. Daniel Falkingham in the 39 is the car behind Brody Smith on that outside lane. He is sitting 1 lap down right now. I believe the first car 1 lap down is the 39. The 80 of Shane Posey is a lap down as well. So you do have a couple of lappers in this group, as there you see they're lapping, they're coming up to lap Marcus Adams yet again. As
and Daniel Falkingham saying that he had brake pedal problems at the start of the race.
So that's what put him at the back of the field. I do remember he got qualified somewhat decent here at the start of this. Is now you see Pap and Posey and Kyle Smalley starting to make a move towards the outside lane. The 41 of Roberto Ramirez drops down in front of Greg McConey, so that will put Ramirez into the lead spot. Speaking of Shane Posey, let's see if we can find him on track. There he is in the 25th position, that number 80 right behind Calvin Allison. Clayton White in the YouTube chat saying he's pulling for Posey. Posey needs a caution right now is pretty much it. He needs to get around Daniel Falkingham, and he needs a caution if he wants to get back up onto the lead lap. And with the way these guys have been racing here tonight, I'm surprised we've only had the one on the opening lap of the race.
Well, they've been trying.
Yeah.
You know, they've definitely been trying to bring out another caution.
Not for a lack of effort.
Yeah.
See Calvin Allison in the background there, moving up to the outside lane. Roberto Ramirez leading the inside. Kyle Smalley still leading that outside lane in the number 46. As Greg McConey says, yeah, you guys can have fun. I'm done.
Well, he had to get out of line because he was starting to overheat. Because he was sucked right up to the 41 for so dang long. He got to get clean air to that radiator, and that's going to let
another big block from Kyle Smalley. My goodness! I mean, we saw that on a level shot there, and there was no room between the front and back bumpers of the 24 and 46 when he came up. And that was, again, just another close, aggressive blocking move.
And I can understand somebody coming in and just, you know, it's a cherry pick race for him. But
no, he's been, I wouldn't call it a cherry pick race for Smalley, as now he's getting left in the middle by Brody Smith and Falkingham. Kessler and Tribble are going with him. I wouldn't call it a cherry pick race. Once he was running here weekly. Once the Monday night series started to get down to the bitter end, as Kessler's in the wall going into turn one, Tribble has to make a dive for the inside lane as he came off the wall, and I believe the caution is out. Yes, it is.
What I'm getting at, though, is with it being a cherry pick race for him, he's not running for points right now.
No.
And this is the final race of the season, and he has 0 Fs to give at who he's driving aggressively around. You know, and it's that whole mentality of, I'm going to put my car here, and whether we wreck or not is on you. Well, no, I'm sorry. That's not the way you approach a series like this, especially with a championship on the line.
And again, to be fair to Kyle, he was here every week at the beginning of the season, and once the Monday night season started to come down to the end and he was racing for the championship there, that's when we started to see him less and less here on Friday nights. And it worked. To his credit, it worked. He won the championship. But he has made a lot of aggressive moves here tonight, especially around a championship contender in Brody Smith that would be considered, I mean, it'd be considered questionable at the best of times. The close moves.
Yeah, I mean, it just, I don't know. I'm trying to see what brought out the caution now. It looks
Yeah,
like
it's where
around Joe Francis.
we'll see if we can find what happened here to bring out this caution. Joe Francis currently sitting in the 21st position. There he is. Yep, no front bumper on that car, so it'd be safe to assume that it was him. Let's go to the caution flag as Francis. I don't think iRacing is going to allow us to see what happened, and they're not.
Yeah, he had a wicked lag spike, and he's still showing a 4-digit ping right now.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, this is kind of getting a little wild.
Yeah, it certainly has been, as pit stops are underway. Brody Smith, Zach Bowerman gets out in the second position, so a nice little jump for Zach Bowerman. You see Nick Kessler right here in that first pit box. He had some damage after hitting the wall in turn one that we saw. So he's trying to get that fixed, and he will come out, I believe, just behind Connor Trafari as pit stops cycle out. We will take a quick break here, just about halfway through the championship race at Daytona International Speedway for the iRacing East Superspeedway Series. Championship leader Brody Smith in the lead of the race from Zach Bowerman, Kyle Smalley, Aaron Tribble, and Jason Papp, your top five as we head to break. We are back here at the Daytona International Speedway for the championship round of the iRacing East Superspeedway Series here on ESPN. You may have noticed that the caution was extended by 1 lap. And here would be the reason why, is these guys are cycling back up. Kinzer makes a little bit of a move to try to get out of everyone's way, and James Cato ends up going through the grass down the back straightaway as people were trying to catch up from their pit stops. And because of that, the caution was extended by 1 lap. And as we sit, we will go back to green flag racing on lap 49 of 100 here in the championship finale. Tony, bring us down.
Smith, Smalley, Tribble, Papp, and Trafari, your top 5 is field doubling up behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. As it come out of turn number 4, pace truck getting ready to make that aggressive left turn. And it's going to be Smith and Smalley bringing them down. Pace truck is in. Green flag's in the air, and we are back underway as they all roll into it. Aaron Tribble right on the back bumper of Brody Smith, as Jason Papp not as close on Kyle Smalley as they haul it off into turn number 1.
Yeah, Jason Papp's laying off just a little bit on that outside lane. Aaron Tribble now backing off a little bit. That's Brody Smith's old car, the 22. Now Papp gets a good run on Kyle Smalley coming out of turn 2. He's going to make a move towards the outside. Kessler just going to let him in line on that outside. Kyle Smalley moves to the bottom. He's back to the race lead.
And this time he had a lot of room on Smith when he made that move because Papp gave him such a decent shove. Papp, again, went to the outside lane and said, you know what, you need to go down now because I'm not really working with you. As Papp to the point as they haul it off into turn number 1.
Yeah, Papp got a really good shove from the 91 of Kinzer and the 4 of Nick Kessler. You can see on screen right now both drivers that are fighting for the championship. Brody Smith in the McDonald's 24 and the 48 of Connor Trafari, that black and white machine sitting in the middle of the field. As that is your championship, just 5 positions separate them. Unfortunately, it's 5 positions going the wrong way for Connor Trafari. Trafari needs to finish ahead by several positions of Brody Smith here tonight, and right now he's not in position to do that as Papp leads the halfway lap.
Absolutely is. Papp making it happen on that inside lane. Nick Kessler doing whatever he can do as the 91 getting a little bit squirrely. Now, he is a lap car running with this lead pack right now, and he's got the 24, Brody Smith, right there with him, as here comes Ishan Dura in the 10 as well on that inside lane. So, still a lot of racing left to do as we are at the halfway point.
Yep, Zishan Duera, the winner of last week's race at Talladega. Connor Trafari, his teammate, pushing him to that win. A car separating those two guys is the 71 of Mark McFadden. Currently sitting in the 7th position, the 4th car on the inside lane in that number 71. Papp and the pole sitter Kessler really duking it out on that outside lane as the 91, I believe, of Kinzer. Yeah, that was, I've been saying it right. God, why do I doubt myself so often? Jason Kinzer in the 91, now leading that inside group as Kessler makes a big swing down to the inside.
He did have the room, and you saw Kinzer start to go with him and then realize, hey, I don't have any space, as Jason Papp getting a little squirrely coming into the tri-oval. He may have gotten a little bit of a bump from Kyle Smalley, as right now Kinzer is going away with Brody Smith pushing him as they come out of turn number 2. Now, Smith looking to get back to the point, as if he can clinch the point for leading the most laps, as what the hell?
There's Kyle Smalley moving to the outside lane forcing Brody Smith up the track to make a third lane. And again, that's sorry to say, but tonight that's that's on color for the 46 of Kyle Smalley. And that's I don't know how else to describe that move other than he moved up into the second lane and forced Brody Smith.
You know, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Is he's been driving like the southbound end of a northbound horse, with just not giving a care for those that he's racing around, and that's dangerous.
And I mean, he's done it so many times. Oh, there goes the 40. There goes the 91. Around the 24 is involved in it. I believe Connor Trafari might have been in it as well. Not a lot of damage on the 48, but the 24 of Brody Smith was right in the middle of it. And that right there was between Pap, the 91 of Kinzer, and the 46 of Smalley, just all coming together. Brody with no back bumper. Oh boy. What champion. The front, to Brody's credit, the front end of that car looks clean. It's the back end, he's got all the
Relatively
issues.
Clean.
But I mean, this was, we saw it as it happened. A lot of guys, it was just the front group getting really close. So here we go again. They're already off and wrecking. The 71 got it hard. The 91, the 27 of Jesse Cottrell involved. A couple of guys able to slide through. I'm trying to see here. A little bit further back, and the wrecks unfortunately already started there. And we'll see. We'll take it back a little bit further. As you see Pap start to move up the track. Oh, you know what? That was net code.
Yeah, I was just kind of looking at that too. It was one of those deals where the 91 just snapped around.
Yep, and that would have been off the 1 of Pap and not off the 46 of Smalley. I mean, you clearly saw Pap washing.
Connor Trafari caught a race car to the face.
Well, I mean, fortunately for him, it doesn't look like he has all that much damage on the car. But there you see the state of Brody Smith. No back bumper, and as you mentioned, a relatively clear front end. See if we can find the 48 of Trafari. He's still in pit road. We talked about guys outside of the top 3 having a long shot chance at winning the championship. Their long shot may have just been called. As guys like Zishan Duera, who needed
17 points coming into tonight.
Yep. Zishan Duera was in 6th. $17 points out. Cody Smith has had issues. Mark Mann has had issues as well. As the field works its way back into the tri-oval, as the third caution triggered with net code between the 91 and the 1, bringing out our third caution of the race. And Brody Smith just getting out in front of the pace car to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, he stayed in as long as he could to try to pit farm that car. Not sure how much of the damage he was able to get fixed, but we're going to find out here as, he could still have a shot at this one. You take a look at where everybody's running. Marcus Adams, pretty much out. Mark Mann, I don't even see him here tonight.
Mark Mann is here. We have him on screen
there he
right
is.
now. Coming out of pit road. Mark Mann currently being scored in the 13th position. As his car does look relatively clean, so depending upon how much damage is on the 24 and the 48, the 04 might have just won this thing, depending upon the damage.
The thing is, Mark Mann needed 13 points coming into tonight to get the championship.
And with the issues that Marcus Adams had on the first lap, and now with this caution putting a damper on the 24 and 48, we'll see what this does here. About to start lap 58 of the season finale. Aaron Tribble and Nick Kessler leading them down. Tribble sends them off, and we are racing again after caution number 3. Tribble and Kessler at the point. Worley pushing the heck out of the 4, and Kyle Smalley giving a very good shove to the 22 on the inside lane.
The 22 of Tribble getting a good one going is Worley shoving the daylights out of Kessler in that high lane as they come up on that looks like the 80 of Posey that they're flashing by.
It was.
And these guys are actually picking them up and laying them down right now. As Mann running in the 13th spot.
He's got Rick Seabrands behind him, and the 50 of Joe Francis in front of him. Looks like Connor Trafari is able to keep pace with those guys. Brody Smith is there as well. So depending upon the damage on those two drivers, it looks like Trafari got out of that rather clean, and we know Brody Smith with the back bumper issue on the 24, we know he's going to have the 7 of his brothers stuck to his back end all race long. How can that 48 move up is going to be the question.
And we're going to find out here in right around 40 laps, as we've got 59 in the books right now. And, Aaron Tribble leading this thing. Kyle Smalley right there with him. Jason Papp still there. Borman and Ramirez running out your top 5 last time across the stripe. And, this is definitely interesting. The math is...
It's certainly close, and it's, again, just like NASCAR, it's 43 points to the winner, and then there's bonus points to be factored in. And right now, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like Mark Mann has enough, and Brody Smith, I believe, would just be scored as the champion, maybe by a point or two, but the 24 right now is in a position to win the championship, and that's on incredibly rough math by a guy who can't do math.
Well, that depends on what happens with Connor Trafari. He's got Nick Kessler shoving the daylights out of him right now to try to make some headway. They're getting that second lane starting to form up as they flash by the 04 of Mark Mann. So, Trafari needs to pick up a couple more spots to tighten this one up. But, I'm listening kind of to the in-sim chatter, and, these guys are...
Say comfortably 5 points. Trafari came in, 3 points or 4 points behind? I believe it was 3 points behind.
It was.
Make it 4 after Brody Smith's lap lead. I do not believe Trafari has had a lap lead either. But as it sits right now, Trafari would be the champion.
And
with where
Brody
he sits.
Smith just lost Cody because Cody just hand grenaded an engine.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
And now that's going to put Trafari's teammate of Zishan Duera behind him. Now, Duera does have some rear end damage. But, I mean, the question is, can Duera push that 24 to a point to where it's really not, to where he's not falling off the back end of this lead pack, and right now back into a fight for the championship? Because right now, with where they sit, with Trifari in 11th and Brody Smith in 18th, this is Trifari's championship to lose at the moment.
It is, as right now Duera in the 10, working with Brody Smith to try to make some headway, but they're about 10 miles an hour off the pace of the lead pack.
And just looking at this lap here, Kyle Smalley retakes the lead. Smalley ran a 45.08 last time across the line. Compare that to Brody Smith's 46.03. So Brody Smith a second off the pace after that wreck is now Daniel Falkingham, who's gotten the benefit of a couple of cautions. He's on the outside line with Greg McConey pushing him. That is for the lead for the 39 of Falkingham, who jumps down in front of Kyle Smalley to take over the race lead on lap 64.
Yeah, Falkingham got a great run on that second lane, as looks like Marconi still trying to make some headway. He's got, looks like Papp with him. Yep, that is Jason Papp with him. So
76 of GT Park is out there as well as we ride now on board. This is with the 00 of Ryan Worley. Worley, you can see the damaged race cars in front of him. There's the 9 of Bowerman directly in front. GT Park, the first car on the outside line that he can see. As he sits just off of this front pack in the 8th position as we come down to 35 to go.
There we go again. Kyle Smalley jumping up in front of Greg Marconi. Try to make something happen in that second lane as they haul it through turns 1 and 2. Now that is Smalley on the high side and Falkingham on the inside. Down the back straightaway they come is Marconi giving a good shove to Smalley.
And one guy I do want to note, Aaron Tribble. I think this is the best race that we've seen him run so far this season. And he picked a decent time to do it the last outing of the year. But Tribble has done a fantastic job in that 22 here tonight, and he's been aggressive tonight. He's been running up towards the front. Nice to see Aaron Tribble. Nice to see a new name fighting up towards the front of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. As both Mark McFadden and Calvin Allison have decided to put it on the hauler and call it an evening.
It makes sense with how hard a hit that at least McFadden took on that caution, on that last wreck. As Kyle Smalley is still leading an outside lane. He and McConey have gotten clear down into turn 3. Both of them moving to the inside lane. As now it's only Jason Papp and GT Park on the outside trying to stick up with the front group here. And we've seen you can use that side draft, and if you do have a good enough push, you can hang with the top pack. It's just waiting for somebody to jump back up to decide they want to take the lead again. And right now, Greg McConey is in that spot. Falkingham, however, is the one that makes the move to the outside lane. 2 cars on the outside just turned into 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Falkingham being scored as the 03, so that was a little confusing for me anyway. Sorry. I'm like, where the hell is he? And I'm looking for an 03, and I'm like, wait, no, this says 39 on it. So, again, we have tech officials that were slightly inebriated when they were handing out transponders tonight.
Sorry. I could have swore I put the 3 first. And then I guess my 9 was a little iffy.
Sure.
Falkingham gets a shot from Jason Papp, wiggles him down the front straightaway. down the back straightaway, pardon me, as Falkingham just had a big moment. That's going to allow McConey and Smalley to get the momentum on the inside lane. Smalley back to the race lead. Falkingham has recovered back up here as now Pap giving him a big push coming out of the tri-oval. 4 cars on that outside lane. It's Falkingham, Pap, Park, and Worley on the outside line.
Yeah, and Worley, he's another one that we haven't talked about a lot tonight. Started way back in 32nd and has kept that car relatively clean.
And just to update you on the man who was leading the championship and leading a vast majority of this race coming into tonight, Brody Smith currently sitting 17 seconds behind the race lead and running about 2 seconds a lap slower than the lead pack. So it looks as though Brody Smith, his lead is done as we have 30 laps to go. Greg McConey goes to the race lead as he jumps out in front of Daniel Falkingham and now says, thank you very much for the push, but I'll drop back to the inside. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are, they're racing hard, but they've cleaned it up a little bit. I mean, it was a little chippy earlier on, and now they're kind of settling in. We're 30 laps to go, so we haven't seen the money stop yet.
It certainly
we're coming up on it.
Yeah, it certainly has. Certainly have. I've lost all train of thought there. My apologies. It's certain. Oh, now I got it. It certainly has calmed down from what we had seen earlier on in the race. And to one of the guys in the YouTube chat that I'm seeing here, that's what kind of broke my train of thought. We did not say that Kyle has shown no respect here tonight. I've been broadcasting these races all season, and we know what a good driver he is. It's just tonight he has been incredibly aggressive from what we've seen him run all season long. Not saying he's not a good driver, not saying he's disrespectful, but he has made a couple of very aggressive moves tonight, and at points of the race where those moves would not necessarily be made. That's all we were saying as far as Smalley. But back to the race, Falkingham up to the front. Jason Papp leading that outside lane, and Papp still getting a push from GT Park. And look at Brandon Wilson in the 501. He's showing up here at the front of this field on the outside line, and Roberto Ramirez in the 51 Ally Toyota is there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're starting to... What the hell is going on with my system right now?
As Falkingham still leading that inside lane. Greg McConey behind him. Then there's Kyle Smalley. The 22 of Aaron Tribble is there as well. There's the 9 of Zach Bowerman on the back of that group as well. And right now, the effective champion, Connor Trafari in the 48, currently sitting in the 12th position. Now, a lap 1 wreck took out Marcus Adams, who came into the night 4 points behind. Adams currently in his pit box right now, is currently being scored in the 30th position, of a very solid amount of laps down. And with that last incident, Brody Smith has gotten too much damage for his car to be able to maintain pace to stay up with the race lead. And right now, Connor Trafari, who was the opening race winner back in the truck series, back in the trucks here at Daytona, looks like he could be bookending this season. Maybe not with a win and a win, but a win and a championship here at Daytona.
Yeah, absolutely. Trafari really has it wound up right now. He's doing what he needs to do. I think he needs one more spot to clinch it. but definitely doing what he needs to do, and kind of hoping for the best right now.
A couple of guys coming into pit road, as you saw, as we have 25 laps to go. This would be the money stop for these guys, as pretty much you can make it from here, as McConey and Smalley now getting out in front of Falkingham and Papp. No one in this front group deciding to come in and pit. This front group spanning the top 14 drivers. James Cato at the back end of this front group of 14. And what would be interesting to see, Tony, is how much these guys split up during the green flag pit stops.
Well, we see it quite a bit. It depends on how cleanly you can get onto and off of pit road, and who your dancing partner is when you do so. As some of the guys in this front group calling it out that they're going pit side this time.
And again, this is the money stop for these guys. McConey leading that inside lane. He will not come in. And no, guys staying out here this time. So maybe a little bit of gamesmanship being played in the race chat as far as who's going to come in when. Brandon Wilson in the 501, you just saw move to the inside lane. Still, Papp and GT Park have been pretty insistent on making that outside lane work. They're up to the second line of cars now, trying to get around, Papp trying to get around his teammate, Greg McConey.
Park doing whatever he can to try to give Papp a good shove. Got him to the lead that last time across the stripe, and these guys are picking it up and laying them down right now. As we are definitely within you're within the you can make it from here zone.
Yeah. So 22 laps to go here at Daytona. You see GT Park having to lay off of the one. He has been right up on the driver of the one over these last couple of laps, as now he gets right back to him. Greg McConey getting a big shove from Kyle Smalley. That's allowing the bottom lane to move up, but those two cars in the outside lane have had an impressive run, being able to stick with the top of the inside line, and still nobody ducking off just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And, a quick rundown of the math. As of right now, Brody Smith still has the championship.
Really?
There's 3 spots between him and Connor Safari, and Smith has the bonus point for leading the lap.
Yeah, so that would be by 1 point that Brody Smith has the championship lead. However, guys like Mark Mann, Daniel Holloway, Rick Seabrands, those guys did come into pit already here under this green flag run. So those guys will need to come into pit again. So the rest of the field needing to come in, and those 3 at least will get around the 24 Brody Smith again while Smith is making his pit stop, as we have 20 to go. And GT Park, you saw it on screen, GT Park has pushed Jason Papp to the lead past Greg McConey.
As he's now got Roberto Ramirez giving him a good shove as they haul it down the super stretch here at Daytona. And Park looking to get a nose out front. Does have the nose out front as they haul it off in turn number 3, 2x2. And you got the teammates on the inside with Papp and Marconi. And that's kind of dangerous for the rest of the field, because we know how well those two work together.
4 teammates up in this front 14, the 1, the 12, the 501, and the 00, all up here in this group. They're not together, but they are all up in this group, as McConey giving a nice little run of air to the back end of that 1, pushing him up to the lead, as Roberto Ramirez ducks to the inside line. I think with that move right there, they might be coming in this time.
Maybe.
Ramirez had a good run, and he backed off of it to get to the inside lane. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're coming in here. And Papp already, yep, there they go. into pit road. And McConey, ooh, wow. Bowerman might get caught for speeding. It will be close with the 9. But, oh, a big wreck on pit road. That's Brandon Wilson and the 4 of Nick Kessler, as we just saw.
Yeah, Borman is definitely going to get popped. Kessler, definitely, that was ugly.
And that's the problem with running 2 different lanes on pit entry. One guy's pit stall comes up. A guy running further to the left on pit lane, and unfortunately that's what happens. But right now this is a battle for the race lead as GT Park will come in with Daniel Falkingham, Kyle Smalley, Roberto Ramirez, and a big lockup from GT Park, and that's going to force him onto the grass and into the right side of Roberto Ramirez on pit road. So it's been an interesting run of pit stops here in this final green flag set.
Park's probably going to get popped for unsafe pit entry.
Probably, because he did touch the grass on pit exit. As there you see, that was the original group, by the way. Watch those guys. That was Mark Mann, Daniel Holloway, and Rick Seabrands, the 04, the 21, and the 44. Those guys just blew past Greg McConey. These guys currently in the race lead right now. Mark Mann could win the season finale. As those guys are catching up now, or trying to catch up to Daniel Falkingham. Falkingham running all alone on pit exit. So yes, it will be, when these green flag pit stops cycle out, it is going to be Mann, Holloway, Seabrands, the top 3. And we saw this a little bit earlier in the season with Pap, with Worley, McConey, and Wilson. Those guys came in about 5 or 6 laps before everybody else came out and had a big lead. But unfortunately for them, the caution came out and it ruined the strategy. These guys, barring a caution, might have just played this perfectly.
As far as getting the race win, yes. But as of right this second, Connor Trafari has your championship as he's currently running in 7th.
Yep, and Trafari has the 9 of Bowerman behind him. So apparently Bowerman did not get a pit road speeding penalty. Jason Papp is there with a teammate Ryan Worley behind him. That is the top 10. And as we had mentioned, how would these guys split up? It was a 14-car group coming out of pit road initially. Now it's a 3-car group, a single car of Falkingham who's about to catch that pack and make it a 4-car group. McConey and Tribble a pair, and then it's the quartet of Trafari, Bowerman, Papp, and Worley. So those 14 cars, whether it be by pit strategy or what have you, have split up into 4 different distinct groups. As boy, Bowerman almost got a hit, and they're wrecking in front. That's Nick Kessler.
Kessler just went for a ride.
Yep, there's Kessler sitting there on the back straightaway. And we'll see what happened there with Nick Kessler, as we will go to it. Kessler getting a push from Brody Smith. Pardon me, this is lap before. And Kessler got a big shunt from Brody Smith and right into the race leaders of Mann and Holloway. No. And for Mann, that's it. His engine's gone.
Yeah.
And I think Holloway's stuck in the wall. Is stuck in the inside wall. Wow, what a turn of events here tonight. As Brody Smith spins out Nick Kessler on the back straightaway. And right into the leaders, it will be Rick Seabrands in the 44 Yeti Toyota in the race lead. Chevrolet, pardon me. I thought I saw Toyota on the back. Boy, we are setting up for a wild finish here. And as some of these guys come into pit, and top off. I think Seabrands is going to come in. He will. As Connor Trafari coming into pit as well. Zach Bowerman. Ryan Worley. So a lot of guys coming into pit here. As Seabrands, you saw Seabrands right there flash by your screen. He had to back up back into his pit stall. As we get down to the final 13 laps, we will take our final break here with 13 laps to go under our fourth caution of the night. Falkingham, McConey, Tribble, Papp, and Cato, your top five. We are back live here at Daytona, about to go green flag racing with 11 laps to go once we take the green flag. Right now, we are going to show you another replay. We're going to show you an overhead replay of what happened on the back straightaway as Nick Kessler brings out this caution. Brody Smith, I think we might have... I've been doing that all night long, pushing back a little too far on the replay. So let's try this again here. As Brody just gives a shove to the 4 in the right rear corner. That sent the 4 into the wall and right down into the 2 leaders, the 04 and the 21. As we're getting set to go back to green flag racing, 11 laps to go. When we hit the start-finish line, pace car is off. Daniel Falkingham will lead them down with Greg McConey to his outside. We are green flag racing for the final 11 laps of this fall 2020 season, and they're already wrecking behind. Well, that was Brody Smith and I think GT Park. Or no, is that the 82 maybe? 82 of Dan Harrington.
21.
Oh, so that would have been the 21. And McConey's around. McConey's around at the front. James Cato involved as well in the 3. Caution comes out again as Cato spins a hard hit into the door of the 10 of Zishan Duera. And we are under our 5th caution of the evening. Boy, last race of the year. And we're getting fireworks. Yeah, we may as well take this one from the green flag. a little bit after.
Fireworks should we getting? Husker do's, Husker don'ts.
So up above here, there's McConey with his teammate Pat behind him. That's where the incident starts. And Connor Trafari right under those guys. Tribble moves up. That stacks up the 12 and the 1. Boy, Trafari goes through the grass, misses everything. As it really just appeared to be, and there's Duera who had made it through, but gets clear. I want to take a look back at what happened earlier on between Brody Smith, and you said it was the 21. Here's Brody on the restart.
Holloway tried to cold trickle the field coming through 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, there's Holloway coming through and then just cuts down trying to get in line, and the 24 was there. And that's the danger, unfortunately, of not being lined up on these restarts, is sometimes you just can't file up and line up properly. And unfortunately, that's what happens sometimes. Guys try to take advantage of a situation.
Yeah, they do, and as
currently have 9 laps to go. We should be taking the green with about 7, either 6 or 7 laps until we go green. Daniel Falkingham, Aaron Tribble, Greg McConey, Connor Trafari, Zach Bowerman, the top 5. Right now, your champion will be Connor Trafari, as he is the only one that really has not been in any trouble tonight. And wouldn't you know it, he's the only one of the top 3 that fell to the back on the initial start and has found himself with a clean race car up at the front in championship winning position come the night's end.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a strategic move, and it's paid dividends here towards the end of the race. He's been able to, see what's going on when things start to get a little hinky, and he's given himself the opportunity to take evasive action. And if you look, he hasn't really put himself in a position all night long to have that car in danger or trapped anywhere. He's given himself an out. As we saw in the last caution, he was able to go through the grass, down on the apron, through the grass, coming through the bus stop chicane. And, because of that, he was able to miss that melee. Now this is the furthest forward he's been all night long. And he's got enough positions made up that he doesn't need to win the race. He's just got to finish roughly where he is, as Brody Smith currently mired back outside of the top 10. That's enough positions in front of the rest of his contenders, or his opponents for this championship, that he's got this.
Marcus Adams, unfortunately, was eliminated from championship contention, was 4 points back coming into tonight's race, was eliminated from contention after a wreck on lap 1. Brody Smith was then eliminated essentially from championship contention in a wreck on lap, 40. And from there,
yeah.
it has been Connor Trafari's championship to lose. Cars heading through turns 3 and 4. It'll be Falkingham and Tribble again leading the field down ahead of McConey and Connor Trafari. Zach Bowerman and Ryan Worley, Rick Seabrands and Roberto Ramirez, Zishan Duera and GT Park will lead them down. Tony, 7 laps to go.
Absolutely. As the field comes out of turn number 4, pace truck getting ready to make that hard left turn onto pit road. There it goes. As Falkingham has the button, green flag is out, and we are back underway as McConey giving Falkingham a decent shove down the front straightaway. Connor Safari kind of hanging back a little bit, trying to find, a place to hide basically right now. As he's running side by side with Borman right now, and Borman and Trifari have been running well together most of the night. Whenever they've been near each other, as Trifari trying to make it happen now on the high side with giving a shove to Aaron Tribble.
He's trying. You want to try to lay back, but you cannot afford to lay back too far. As Brody Smith currently sitting in the 11th position right now, and Connor Trifari sitting in third. He needs to finish at least 4 positions ahead of Brody Smith. In order to tie, he needs 5 to win, and right now he's got it. 6 laps to go. Daniel Falkingham in the lead, getting pushed by Greg McConey. Aaron Tribble on that outside line, and we're not seeing the outside line being as aggressive or being as successful as it was when Park and Pap were leading it. But even still, they are still maintaining position.
They're maintaining position, and that whole group is starting to flat walk away from those cars behind them. That group led right now by Brody Smith. So GT Park, the last car in that line, as that was Seabrands?
Not sure. We're looking back at the second group here.
Yeah.
As
Seabrands was dropping, or no, it was Worley dropping to the back of that lead group.
As Zishan Dwera currently sitting in the 10th position. That is one of Trifari's teammates, so him being ahead of Brody Smith really does help. The 501 of Wilson, you can just see how difficult it is for the 24 to be able to hang on to a lead group. He really needs somebody pushing him, and the one pusher that he had unfortunately blew up. Here is the battle for the race lead, though, as Falkingham leads with 4 laps to go. The 22 on the outside of Aaron Tribble, the 12 of Greg McConey in the battle as well. These are guys we have not seen too much on the podium this season, battling for a win in the season finale.
And Trifari's doing the right thing. He knows he's got about a lap and a half that he can be right sucked up to the back bumper. But right now, Trifari's got to be a little bit cautious as he's got Roberto Ramirez right behind him, and Ramirez was giving him a great shove down the back straightaway as they're coming to 3.
Oh, they're wrecking.
Goodness.
Wow, Falkingham is able to keep it on that inside line. They're 4 wide going into the front straight, going into the tri-oval. They're somehow still sorting their way out. Tribble still on that outside lane, getting pushed by Connor Trifari, who just saw his championship flash before his eyes. Trifari on the outside of 3 wide as GT Park pushing him on that outside lane. Tribble and still Falkingham somehow still leading that inside lane, as now Connor Trifari losing positions he cannot afford to lose in front of GT Park. Now the 3rd car on that outside lane, 7th on track, and right now Brody Smith currently sitting in the 12th position. Trifari has it by 1 point, if math is correct.
Popsicle sticks in the air as Tribble continues to show the way. The 22, sorry, that's Falkingham showing the way.
Yep. There goes Bowerman. Wow, Bowerman almost got sent by Tribble. Now Trifari on the bottom of 3 wide. He needs every position he can get as they come down the back straightaway. Trifari up to 4th position. Falkingham and Seabrands 1 and 2 with Roberto Ramirez in the 3rd position, and he gets spun out by Trifari on the back straightaway. Caution comes out. We are going to have a green-white checkered at Park. Comes back up on the track. It spins out Connor Trifari. Oh boy, oh boy. What a mess this is to sort out.
What the hell did I just watch?
I'm still trying to figure out as well. As Falkingham and Seabrands are clear, those guys are 1 and 2. Aaron Tribble up there as well. McConey in 4th. As they catch up to the pace truck And that starts with Trafari giving a bad bump to Roberto Ramirez.
No, it wasn't even a bad bump. He jumped to his outside so that he didn't turn him. Had to run because he was getting pushed by GT Park. Ramirez jumps up to try to block him and snaps see ya bye.
Get the overhead look here as Trafari in the 48. There's Roberto Ramirez on the outside lane trying to find some way around. And you're right, Ramirez does come up the track in front of the 48, and he appears to be clear again. But then there comes GT Park and just clatters his left rear corner. Now, what damage could that have done to the back bumper of Connor Trafari's number 48? I don't think we're going to find out. He's not pitting.
Well, there is a big wow in the left rear quarter panel of that number 48. The question is, how much is it going to affect him? As we're going to have the first of two shots at a green-white checker.
It looks like, as you can see on screen, it looks like he just missed the left rear wheel well and hit him right in the fender. But man, this lap, we were a half a lap away from clear sailing to the finish of this race, and Falkingham pulling it off the track. I couldn't imagine he's coming into pit here. Oh, it's the back straightaway anyway. So again, just to reset here, we are under our sixth caution of the night. This one between...
Falkingham's running low on fuel.
Yeah, I can imagine. Falkingham came in on lap 83. Rick Seabrands right now is the first car that's clear on fuel. Seabrands came in on lap 87 in the 44. Falkingham, Tribble, and McConey all came in on lap 82. After that, it's Bowerman, Trafari, Worley, and Dwera all came in on lap 87. So those guys are good to go for at least one green-white checkered finish. But the guys we're going to have to watch out for, as you mentioned, the 39 of Falkingham, the 22 of Tribble, and the 12 of McConey. As the lights go out atop the pace truck, we are going green, possibly for the final time this season.
And if you're up towards the front, you got to be sweating bullets right now, knowing that 3 of the top 4 might be running out of fuel.
And also, this is, if you're looking at the timing and scoring pylon, this also really has helped and really could help Brody Smith. Trafari sitting in 6th position, Brody in 10th. Those guys right now are sitting in a virtual tie for the championship. Again, if our projections and if our mathematical presumptions are correct, and even still, we're not sure who has the bonus point for leading a lap, for leading in the most laps. And if that does go to Brody Smith in the 24, he's the champion right now.
He is, but he still has to hang on.
Yes, he does, and that's something we've seen that 24 not be able to do. So hopefully for the final time this season, Falkingham will lead them down. Rick Seabrands behind him. Tony, take it away.
Pace truck brings him out of turn number 4. Falkingham's going to have the button. Pace truck gets ready to make that hard left turn onto pit road as the field works its way out of 4. There it goes, and here we go as the green flag comes out. Everybody rolls back into it, and here comes Daredevil right now. It's Daniel Holloway trying to cold trickle the field again. Gets a block thrown on him, so that's not going to happen. Now the big question is, does Falkingham, does Tribble, and does McConey have all 3 of those drivers have enough fuel to make it another 5 miles?
And they're all on the inside line. Rick Seabrand's on the outside line, getting a push from Greg McConey. Connor Trafari, apparently that damage has done something that he took from GT Park as he is falling back. He's gotten passed by Ryan Worley. He's going to fall behind Worley, and he's right ahead of Brody Smith. However, that is not where he wants to be. We're coming to the white flag. Aaron Tribble, Daniel Falkingham. It's Tribble in the lead. Falkingham leading the inside lane. The question is, will they have enough fuel to make it the final lap here at Daytona?
Trafari, yeah, definitely has more damage than we originally thought on the 48.
They're spinning. There goes Bowerman off the front end of Seabrand's. That's going to put Bowerman out. It's going to leave it 2 by 2. Possibly Seabrand's might have a chance here to win this race as Worley is sitting behind him. I believe Brody Smith was involved in that accident, so that puts Trafari in 6th. Seabrand's gets blocked off by Daniel Falkingham coming to the line. On the outside lane, it's Aaron Tribble. Greg McConey there as well, but it'll be Daniel Falkingham who wins the season finale at Daytona. And boy, Connor Trafari finished 4 positions ahead of Brody Smith, who was involved in that last accident. And if our math is correct, we are looking at a tie atop the point standings, and both drivers do have a win. So the question is, if it is a tie, what is the tiebreaker between the 24 and 48? Boy, this has just been, from the word go, This has been a topsy-turvy evening. I mean, this was a night. But it's Daniel Falkingham who comes away with the win. And we're waiting on word of the champion at this point. Still not sure as to who it is, but we do know the winner of the race. It is Daniel Falkingham.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it might not be Brody Smith, as he just rage quit.
And again, they came in a tie. Trafari is there with Zashon Dwera. You can see that. I mean, again, we're just waiting on word as to who the champion is.
I would reach out to Daniel Falkingham to congratulate him on winning. The only thing is,
yeah, I think that would be our route here. We want to.
He's not even in here.
He is in here actually. Oh no, you're right. He's not.
I've just looked at every room and he's not.
Yeah, no, he's not. So we're kind of in a holding pattern at this point, by our math, which very much could be wrong.
Usually is.
Yes, and I will attest to that as well. By my math, which is usually wrong, Trafari and Smith. Trafari finished in 6th, and Brody Smith finished 11th. That's 4 positions between the two. Brody Smith led a lap. Trafari, I believe, did not.
Here it is. I just got the points.
Oh, don't hold us in suspense now. Come on.
I got to get there. Hold on.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought you were doing the whole Academy Awards gimmick.
No. They just posted the points, and it's not giving me... There it is. Brody Smith by 4?
That was him. That was what he had going into tonight.
It's after race 20 of 20.
So Brody Smith apparently, again, if those points are correct, Brody Smith is the champion.
Race 20 of 20, December 18th, 2020. Driver standings. Brody Smith.
So Brody Smith,
1,199 points. Connor Trafari, 1,195 points.
So there were certainly bonus points to be had, but Brody Smith, from what we're hearing, if that is right, Brody Smith is the 2020 fall 2020 iRacing Superspeedway Series champion. And that right there. See, I told you our math was wrong. We had a. Let's see. Just go to confirm here. What we're showing is right. Yep, that is right. Brody Smith is the champion by 4 points over Connor Trafari, and you got to feel for Trafari, who had such a good run going, and then it was something that happened after the checkered flag that takes it away from him. Incredibly unfortunate. As we will go back here, Daniel Falkingham, Rick Seabrands, and Aaron Tribble were the podium finishers here. And I believe of those guys, I think Ryan Worley is the only. Oh no, Ryan Worley finished fourth. So none of the. So here's what we're gonna do. Since we don't have
to figure out how.
Oh, we do. Okay, Brody's here. Okay, so Brody's here. Brody's
we got him here. I'm trying to figure out.
So we'll get Brody Smith in here right now. As unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to. Tony, would you mind pulling?
Yeah, Brody Smith got most laps led.
Okay, so that's what would have done
there's 2 bonus points right there.
All right, well let's bring, while you're figuring that out, let's bring him in here for his championship interview. As Brody Smith, boy, it looked as though it was gone, but you are the iRacing East Fall 2020 Superspeedway champion, bud. Congratulations.
Man, I'm lost for words. First of all, I just want to say sorry to my good buddy, Nick. You know, I turned him as a lap car, and that I know that's frowned upon, and everybody's like, oh, that's intentional. Well, you don't know me. I'm not that type of driver, and, you know, it kind of just makes the championship look bad, but, man, I've been in this league for 4 seasons, and I fought really hard for this championship, and I really don't care what anybody has to say about it. You know, I'm heartbroken for Connor. We're really good friends, and, man, it's awesome, though. It's awesome to get one, and I couldn't be more excited.
Certainly, and you had a great season. You finally broke through and got a win the last race before the playoffs, and it looked as though you and Cody had the plan set out. Cody would have needed a lot of help to win the championship here tonight. However, you were able to get him behind you, keep him behind you, and then the wreck that puts you guys way on the back foot. What happened in that accident?
Well, first of all, I want to call out these idiots. Kyle Smalley,
okay.
You're
I'd rather let's not do that. Let's not.
Okay, we'll stay away from that. But there's a lot of people out there who have no clue what they're doing, and you know, I feel like leading the most laps is definitely what got me the championship. I even got wrecked on the last lap. I thought it was over. You know, I just thought it was over, but It was hard. It's hard keeping your composure, when you feel like you got the, you're racing for a championship, and then everything falls apart with a matter of seconds. That's just how it goes, and that's what happened. Man, this league is one of the best leagues I've ever drove though, and you can't take anything away from Jason Papp and how great this league is, and to be a champion of such a great league, it's truly an honor.
Um, After Cody blew up, you had the only person you had with you was Connor's teammate in Zishan Duera. Were you concerned that he was going to pass you and just leave you behind, or did you feel comfortable that he was going to push you to try to move both of you up to the front of the field?
Look, Zishan may be Connor's teammate, but he's always treated me like an affiliate. Zishan did a great job. He didn't really take anybody's side on this championship deal. He even got third in the points, and that's great for him. He just, I knew he was going to stick with me, but I knew at the end of the day he had a teammate, and that's who he was there for, and Connor Tafari, and it just happened to work out for me.
Oh, all right. What was just? Can we just wrap up what an amazing season this has been for you? As I mentioned, finally breaking through the last race before the playoffs, getting the win, and now sitting here at the championship. Is there any moment that you look back and reflect on over the course of this season that really stands out to you?
It's a great season, but I'm catching a lot of heat for what happened with me and Nick Kessler, and even Nick Kessler, he said it was an accident, and we just didn't really have a clean race like we needed to. But to come in as the points leader and then everybody called me not championship material for what happened, it's kind of disappointing, but maybe next season we can come back and win 2 in a row, and we can do it how everybody wants me to do it. I can be perfect like everybody needs me to be.
Let's. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go celebrate your championship?
Jason Papp, just everybody who runs this great league. Everybody, I heard a lot of smack talk this week. I put a lot of laps in qualifying, hoping I could win the pole, and then my buddy Nick, he stole it from me last second. So I don't know. I feel like I did everything I needed to win the championship, but it's disappointing the way I got it. I ain't gonna lie.
All right.
Thank you guys for broadcasting, and I can't wait to come back next season with you guys and be even better.
All right.
Well, Brody, for what it's worth, you won it completely on getting the bonus for the most laps led tonight. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
All right, and there is your 2020 Fall iRacing East Superspeedway Series champion, Brody Smith. Congratulations, sir. So that is your champion. And now, Tony, you have Connor Tafari with you right now.
I do have Connor Tafari, who did everything he possibly could to get as far forward as he could. The only problem was Connor, no bonus points coming out of tonight, but you stayed out of trouble most of the night.
Yeah, I knew after that lap 1 wreck with Marcus getting taken out, unfortunately, that it was going to be a 2-man race between me and Brody, and I just need to save my car. And throughout the race, I did a good job at it until 1 wreck where me and Brody were both involved, but I got minimal damage, which saved me, and I thought I had the lead going into it. But when Nick got turned into the field, I guess Brody got back on the lead lap or something, and he just kind of got those bonus points and just got me by like 4 points.
He did just get you by 4 points, and it was the most laps led that got it for him. But you can't be too disappointed with the way this season turned out. You fought hard all season long in one of the most difficult series to race in all of iRacing. So congratulations on finishing as high up as you did. Looking forward to next season, though. You planning on returning, correct?
Yes. I think this was a good season overall, though. Career season. I got my first win this season and P2 in the points. But I think this new playoff system that we did definitely benefited me, considering I'm not that good at getting bonus points, and it's just being consistent, which I think I'm definitely really good at. So that probably will help me.
Yeah, Connor, again, I know it's not the way you were hoping it was going to finish, but for what it's worth, you put on a hell of a show tonight, my friend.
Yep, thank you.
Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Circle B Diecast, iRacing iFlag, Butt Kicker, Mirrors Motor Customs, Zishan, Nick, Aaron, all of my teammates at GSR just for trying to help me there at the end of the race, telling me where to finish. Congrats to Brody for the win and Zishan for getting P3, which came out of nowhere. All the admins who put this league on, Jason for actually creating this league, just you guys for broadcasting it, basically everyone who helped put on this league. P2 was not a bad day by any means.
All right. Well, Connor, we're looking forward to seeing what you do in the new year with the new season. Best of luck to you then, sir.
Yep, thank you.
And so that was championship runner-up Connor Trifari. And I believe we have Daniel Falkingham in here now, the race winner.
Zishandura.
Okay, Tony, then I guess you're with Dwera.
Z, you kind of snuck in there up into the top 3 in the final point standings. Congratulations on doing that. I know it wasn't the finish you were really hoping for, but all things considered, you can't be too disappointed with it.
Yeah, I mean, after, being in the catch fence and finishing like third to last in the first race of the chase, to make up so many points last week and to get third here is cool. But I really wish Connor got the championship, but congratulations to Brody. He's an affiliate that's still in the family, so it's good.
All right. Well, moving forward, are we expected to see you back for the next season that's going to start, I believe, in 3 weeks now?
Oh, yeah, this is home. This will be my 4th full-time season and a 5th in total.
All right, then. Z, again, congratulations on the finish in the championship, and we're looking forward to seeing you next season. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Connor, I mean, he's been great. Got us second in the points. Did a great job. Nick, Brody, Aaron, all the GSR guys. You guys for putting on a great broadcast. Jason Papp for just doing an amazing job running the league. Also, Circle B Diecast, iRacing iFlag, Butt Kicker, and Midwest Motor Customs. And you guys for the broadcast.
All right. Well, Z, again, happy holidays and congratulations on the podium for the championship.
Thank you.
Oh man, they were insane. So many cautions. It was a demo derby out there tonight. I don't think there was one car that finished the race without a scratch on it. So, man, what a race it was. It was crazy. I'm finally glad I was able to finally win one of these things. I feel like I've been trying for so long to win one of these races, and I feel proud to have finally got it done. I'm really happy I was able to pull it off tonight, especially with not having a brake pedal at the start of the race. So it cost me a lap when we had that first caution because I was trying to get it calibrated and whatnot. So I ended up losing a lap, and thankfully we got the cautions we needed, and we were able to race up through the field, and we were able to take the lead when it was all said and done. Got to lead a lot of laps, and we were able to bring the car home. So I'm really happy. I'm really proud of myself, and definitely give me some momentum for next season if I can make all the races. So I'm looking forward to it.
My mic was off. This is Daniel Falkingham, the race winner. You were talking about possibly making all the races next season. In the races that you have run this season, you've run very well. You've run very competitive, and finally this time you were able to break the seal and win the race. What did you do differently tonight that you maybe hadn't done the rest of the year?
I don't know. I think honestly it was just going straight to the front, just going and racing. Because there's a lot of times I kind of like hang out at the back and whatnot, and there's times, and most of the time it's just really unlucky and whatnot. So I think it pretty much all came down to luck. So that's kind of what screwed me over a lot of the races. So finally, I kind of had luck on my side. There was 2 times I should have been wrecked in the last 10 laps, and we didn't. So luck was definitely on my side there, and I think we missed every single crash tonight that happened in front of us. So finally, luck was on our side tonight, and just getting the right pushers at the right time, especially that last lap right there. Had to do a little bit of blocking, had to do a little bit of defense, and so all the cards fell our way, and definitely worked out for us in the end.
Anyone you want to thank before we let you go and celebrate your win?
Yeah, just gotta thank everyone who comes out and races each and every week. I know I've gotten to know these guys over the last however long I've been in this league and whatnot, so I gotta thank everyone who races. Thank you guys for the broadcast. And also gotta thank sponsors, Circle B Sales, iRacing iFlag, Butt Kicker, and Midwest Motor Customs who put all the work into it to make this league successful. So thanks for all the sponsors who make this happen. And yeah, congrats to whoever won the championship. I'm not even sure who won the championship. I didn't even know it was the final race. So I think it was Brody. So or pretty sure, yep. So congrats to Brody. I know I've gotten to know him. I feel like I know him the most out of anybody in this league. So cool to see him get it. I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding how he got it with whatever happened on the backstretch. That pretty much put us in position to win the race. So that will definitely be a lot of talk about that. But overall, and yeah, that's it. Just gotta thank you guys again for the broadcast, and thanks to everyone who watched. And yeah, that's it.
All right, there is your winner, Daniel Falkingham. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, fellas.
All right, Rick Seabrand's not available for interview here tonight, so Tony has Aaron Tribble, your third place finisher.
Aaron Tribble, all things considered, able to hang on for a podium finish in the race. How much were you sweating bullets when that green-white checkered was announced about having enough fuel to make it to the finish?
I actually didn't think of that. But I was definitely sweating a lot of bullets. There were a lot. It was a machine gun coming out of me. But yeah, I never actually thought of that. Pretty sure my car was good to go all the way.
All right. Well, talk us through, those last couple of restarts. You kind of you dodged a few bullets yourself, to be able to make sure that you were around for the finish.
Yeah, those last couple of laps, I definitely made those last 10, 20 laps. The pressure got to me a little bit. I definitely made some mistakes with my driving. I think the one time where we're all like 3 wide coming out of 4, like not the last, there was a couple laps to go and everything got really crazy. Where I think it's where I got my big left front damage. I came down on some guy. I don't remember who, but yeah, I made some mistakes, but I dodged a lot of bullets with like wrecks and things, especially being out front. And then that last lap, turn 2. Oh man, that was crazy.
Very much so, but you were able to hang on. You made it to the finish. You came home on the podium. Final race of the season. Are we expecting to see you back in the spring 21?
Yes, sir. We are. Unless anything strange or unusual happens, you should see me back, and hopefully we'll be getting more podiums and more wins.
All right, Aaron, before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank Circle B Sales, iRacing, iFlag, Butt Kicker, Midwest Motor Customs, and then my family for supporting me for what I do.
Hi, Mom.
Hi. And my dad, and my grandparents, and all that. And that's just about it.
All right. Well, again, congratulations on the podium finish tonight. Hopefully you can use that to give you some good momentum going into the next season.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, so that is Aaron Tribble, your third place finisher here tonight. And to round out this roulette of interviews that we've had here tonight is the leader of the show, the driver of the number 1, Jason Papp. And Jason, a lot of controversy coming out of tonight's race, but overall, this season was an absolute joy to watch, and I am so thankful that you picked us to broadcast it and allowed me to broadcast it all season long.
Hey, I'm thankful that we ended up having you guys broadcast this because you guys are awesome, and you guys do a really good job.
All right. Tell us just about this season. when you look back at this season, what stands out most in your eyes when you look back at this super speedway season?
I think that we gained a ton of new guys. We've had pretty strong fields, except for last week, but I was really happy with the field we had tonight. Um, I just the continuity between the guys is awesome. It's like just guys hanging out on a Friday night. It's just a really good camaraderie. Everybody likes to chirp at each other and stuff, but at the end of the day, we're just having fun.
Um, the super speedway season, the next super speedway season, spring 21, starting up on January 15th. Then after that, I believe about 2 or 3 weeks later, you guys are running the opening race of the Monday night series, which we're going to be broadcasting as well at the Daytona Road Course. What what are you most excited for heading into next season, and which season are you more excited for, the Super Speedway or the Monday series?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm usually more excited for the super speedway ones. Some of these guys, they've got a lot of time on their hands. They put a lot of practice in, and it shows on Monday nights. Me, I'm working 50 hours a week. I have a little boy at home I love playing with. I don't get that much practice in, so I'm gonna go with the super speedway series. But I do like all the new tracks that are coming to the Cup schedule this year. So those would be cool. I like being able to. I like road courses, even though I'm not good at them. They're still fun.
Um, couple of so we'll give you a couple minutes here just to thank whoever you want to thank, promote whatever you want to promote, and we are more than happy that you've decided to go with us as your exclusive broadcast partner for next season. So, Jason, the floor is yours. Have at it.
I want to thank first and foremost Circle B Diecast. They have been our league sponsor now for the Cup season and also the Super Speedway season. All the guys in the league get a discount on diecast cars from them. I also would like to thank iRacing iFlag. Their products are awesome. I have a flag and a pit board, and it helps me out tremendously. And Butt Kicker. I don't know if you all are familiar with them, but they have their little speakers they attach to the back of your seat or rig or whatever, and every bump you hit in the track or wreck you get into, I mean, you feel it, and it's pretty cool. But also, all my teammates, Greg, Ryan, and Brandon. Um, I think I've wrecked one of you at least twice this season. So thank you for putting up with me. And just the guys that have been here, year in and year out. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you all. You guys are one of the best in the business.
Well, we truly appreciate that, Jason. We look forward to broadcasting the new season on January 15th and for the Monday night series at the beginning of February. Congratulations on a fantastic season on both nights, and we look forward to seeing you guys again in 2021.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you all in a couple weeks.
All right. There is iRacing East Series lead admin Jason Papp and Tony. A long night here at Daytona, plenty of controversy to go around. Tonight was an eventful evening.
Very much so. And the thing is I'm kind of looking at the general text chat
Yep.
for in the Discord, and these guys are good grief. It's a good thing we've got a couple weeks off before these guys are going to be on track with each other, because I'm thinking this would be a short track Saturday night fist fight if they weren't.
What is that you say? No quarter asked for, no quarter given. Certainly not on track, and in this chat as well. It's no quarter asked
Oh yeah.
for, no
I
quarter
mean,
given.
they're keeping it clean verbally, but you could definitely tell the snarkiness is coming out of just about everybody.
I want to make just a blanket statement over over some of the chat we saw on YouTube, at least. When we call a race, we are or try to be as unbiased as we possibly could, try to promote storylines, and we just call the action of what we see. Tonight, Kyle Smalley was involved in an exorbitant amount of incidents, especially for himself. If it, to some of the guys in the chat, if it felt like we were piling on, I do apologize. We didn't mean for it to come off that way. We've seen Kyle race all season long, and we know he's not a dirty driver. But tonight was definitely an outlier for him. We were not picking on him. We were not over analyzing him in any way, shape, or form. We were not showing favoritism or bias. We just comment on what we see. And if we see a certain driver getting involved in a lot of unnecessary incidents in early race times, then we're going to have to talk about it, especially if he's driving up at the front.
Yeah, and it didn't even start off well when, 5 laps into the race, he's sending 2 guys who are running for a championship almost into the outside retaining wall. That's on me. Frank, you did absolutely nothing wrong. The comments that were made that were less than favorable towards Kyle, those came from me, and I do apologize if I overstepped my bounds. But like you mentioned, that's part of broadcasting a race is you kind of there's going to be times where you're going to have to talk about the elephant in the room, and there were more times than not, especially early on, that Smalley was, if he wasn't directly involved in it, he was right there swinging for the fences.
Yeah, so again, we apologize if we, as Tony said, overstepped our bounds, but we get paid to call what we see, and that's exactly I feel as though that's exactly what we were doing tonight, was just calling what we saw. But to wrap up a very long night and a very long championship, let's go to the final race results. Daniel Falkingham wins his first race of the season. Rick Seabrands coming home in second. Aaron Tribble coming home in third. Ryan Worley, Greg McConey round out the top 5. Connor Trafari comes up a couple of positions too short on a championship. He comes home in 6th. James Cato finishes 7th. Zishan Duera 8th. Brandon Wilson 9th. Daniel Holloway rounds out the top 10. Your champion for this season, Brody Smith, comes home in 11th. Jason Papp finishing in the 12th position. Zach Bowerman 13th. Shane Posey 14th. GT Park comes home in the 15th position. Roberto Ramirez, Dan Harrington, and Mark Mann 16 through 18.
Nick Kessler coming home in 19th after starting on the pole. Kyle Smalley in 20th. 21st goes to Joe Francis. Cody Smith, hand grenades and engine, helping his brother as much as he can, coming home in 22nd. Jesse Cottrell in 23rd. 24th sees Mark McFadden. Calvin Allison in 25th. 26th goes to Jason Kinzer. Jimmy Reynolds in 27th. Chris Worrell in 28th. 29th sees John LeBombard. Michael Anthony in 30th. 31st goes to Marcus Adams. Logan Jones in 32nd. James Lowe in 33rd. 34th goes to Hunter Reynolds. Scott Warren, the last car to actually take the green, comes home in 35th. Nick Wing, being scored in 36th, was not able to take the green at all. And I do want to mention real quick, as I'm looking at the championships here, congratulations to the entire team of JD Motorsports for coming home with the team championship. That's Connor Trafari, Z Shandura, and Nick Kessler. Total points 105 for that group in the team championship. So congratulations to them on that.
Yes, definitely. Congratulations. As we wrap up the final iRacing East Superspeedway race of the season here at Daytona, and what a season it was. We'd like to thank you all for being a part of tonight, being a part of making us a part of you. That's what I'm trying to say. I know English. Making us a part of your night, as we always do. Be sure to subscribe and like the stream on YouTube. Be sure to like and favorite us on Facebook as well. Thank you. I believe we were on the iRacing portal tonight as well. So thank you to iRacing for allowing us on the portal for tonight's race on such short notice. And we look towards the rest of the weekend. We only have 2 more races left this weekend. Tomorrow afternoon at 1:30, it will be the eFormula 3.5 Series, the Japanese Grand Prix at the Suzuka International Racing Course, a legendary track. Should be a fantastic race tomorrow afternoon. And then on Sunday night, it will be the Chris Cup Series at the Texas Motor Speedway. So thank you very much for joining us here tonight. For my broadcast partner, Tony Trapasso, I'm Frank Marchese. We will see you all next season, January 15th, for the iRacing East Superspeedway Series, and tomorrow for the eFormula Series. Have a fantastic night, everybody.